reminder set up.
All right, we're ready.
Oh, you want to see us? Okay, let's do it.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, we're jamming.
Okay, good. So, well, hello. I am Alorah Anana, and I have been living my life as an emissary of the Divine Feminine for the last 30 years.
Awesome.
And I just turned 71.
Whoa! Talk about immortality. This is why we teach it.
That's right.
This is awesome.
So, you know, I love telling my age because it gives people a future to live into.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
I saw this woman who's 104 wind dancing on the ocean. Did you see her?
No.
She's from Australia. Her name's Eileen something or another.
Mm-hmm.
And she moves just like I do, and she's blowing in the wind. I mean,
Wow.
really. And I went, okay, now I can see a future. Because my mom's 94, but she's not wind dancing on the ocean.
Right.
But she's still great, you know, but she's
Yeah.
not in her dancer beauty, which... And Eileen did a movie just recently where she played, you know,
Wow.
the young lead with a young man, but she played the young lead, but at 104.
Wow.
So that's the power of examples. Examples at least give you something to seek on.
That's right.
If you didn't have that role model, it'd be a lot harder.
When I was 49, I met a woman who was 60, and I went, oh, there's a 60 I can live into.
Exactly.
And then I was 60, and I saw a 70-year-old, which was wowza.
Right.
And I went, okay, there we go. And now I just got my 104. So.
Oh, man. See, this is awesome. This is what it's all about.
So this is a symbol that I created in probably 2006.
You don't mind, do you? Oh, cool.
No, I'm on it. And the main symbol is right here, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but what is here, and I always start with is, this is a system of time called the Mayan calendar. I made this in 2012.
Wow, that's
I
awesome.
mean, I printed it. I created the symbol, but it wasn't until 2012 that I printed it. You know?
Right.
So, Mayan time is natural time. It is 13 moons of 28 days each. That if you multiply, that's 364 days. And then you have one day that's no time at all,
Wow.
which is always this day, the day out of time, or Galactic Freedom Day is what they call it. And they have different names for everything in Mayan time. Much of what's here is something that. So in other words, the basic names of the moons, that's Mayan time.
Right.
I'm the one who said, okay, feminine, masculine, because they have complicated names for these things that are too abstract for people to
Right.
understand, you know. So what I looked at was, okay, this is a feminine start to the year. It's not purpose like that.
Right.
It's purpose like attract to you. What is your purpose, and then attract what you need. So it's a feminine way of working with purpose, right?
Right.
And then challenge is kind of a masculine thing, right? And service is feminine, and
Right.
form is masculine. So I started seeing, there's a.
And I like how you said when I got here how this has meaning, but like a June don't have no meaning, a July don't have no
it
meaning.
doesn't have any meaning.
So when you
and,
got
and there's not even a consistency in the number of days of the month.
yeah, right.
So it's 12 moons, in 12 months, this is 13 moons.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one is also a feminine one. So the day out of time serves to, we start with the feminine, we end with the feminine, but
Right.
we get a break right here.
Oh, man.
To reset things, right?
Need a break from that feminine, huh? Back to back.
Just, you know. Well,
That's awesome.
We come from the mother, we return to the mother,
Right.
and you know.
All makes sense
and
again,
There's
purpose.
a little place where you can just exit time completely. So what's wonderful about this is that, you know, the Gregorian calendar, which is the one we live in, is
Right.
just one system of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's so dominant that people don't even remember that there's other systems of time.
Wow, that's something, ain't it?
Yeah, so anyway, in this one you can correspond the days. So we just looked at the fact that we are today
Right.
on December 12th. And this part doesn't correspond because this was the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of that year.
Right.
So, you know, today's Thursday, but that doesn't matter. It's still December 12th, and it's day 28 in the moon of radiance.
Right. And I like how you said this is a good season we're in because that's the last full moon of the decade, I guess. We're going into another one.
We're going-
or of the year at least.
We're going into, no, this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th moon of the year.
Right.
So now we're moving from that one into the moon of equality.
Oh, that's awesome to
And
know.
it's really cool. Like, what's your birthday?
January 19th.
Okay, so if we look for you,
I'm the
where's
January baby.
January. January 19th. Okay, so you are born in the moon of attunement.
Oh, man.
Attunement.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Yeah, makes sense,
Oh,
doesn't it?
listen to this. You're not going to believe what this says. So, I'm not going to let you see it.
Got my eyes covered.
Okay, so in this calendar,
Mm-hmm.
the function is given by the Mayan system and the action is, but the declaration is something channeled through me.
Ah, that's
Okay.
awesome.
So the function of this moon is to command attunement.
Right.
I mean, the function is to inspire, and the action is to command attunement.
To
Okay.
to
Now here's the declaration.
Uh-oh.
Through my breath, I inspire into my body and beauty, elegance and grace of the goddess, and joyfully attune myself to serving her purpose.
Whoa! I gotta love that, huh?
I know, you gotta love
Oh,
that.
man, you hear
Do
that?
that again. Do it again.
Okay, because this is a breatharian, which
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of that, but you know, so
That's
there's
awesome.
nothing else in here that says anything about through my breath, but in the moon he's born in, it says,
Whoa.
through my breath, I inspire into my body the beauty, elegance, and grace of the goddess, and joyfully attune myself to serving her purpose.
To serving her purpose through the breath that's coming through me. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that true?
So I'm just not
I
gonna
got
say.
chills all over me,
Now
don't you?
look, I'm just not gonna say I'm a god anymore. I'm a goddess too. You see that? Whoa! I'm hyped up. This made my whole day right here.
I know.
Oh my gosh!
Me
This
too.
is.
I still got chills. It's affirming for me, right?
Right.
Like
You're
I
channeling.
did this so long ago. Like,
Wow.
what's your birthday?
I am February 22nd.
Okay, let's take a peek.
All right, come on over here,
Okay,
Theta.
okay.
Yeah, we
Okay,
gotta see
so
yours.
February 22nd.
Hi.
So you're born in the moon of integrity.
Oh,
Oh, man.
All week I've
Yes,
said
she
integrity
has.
like 10 times. Literally.
Last night, soon as she got there, she was like, "Let's talk about integrity."
You did. She did. She
Okay.
did. She
Oh my
did.
God, you're so psychic.
So the function of the moon is to model integrity.
Uh-oh, here you go.
And the action is to command it. Now, commanding is an interesting word.
Mm-hmm.
Command isn't force, it's demonstration.
Wow.
When you command something, it's from your presence. That's a real
Yeah.
commanding, right?
Yes.
So it's not
Carry
like,
that well, too.
Yeah, you
it's
see?
not control.
Right.
It's
Right.
It's
Leadership.
demonstration,
Yeah.
right? So the declaration is, I live my life as a virgin in the true sense of the word.
Oh, my gosh.
A
You're
woman-
awesome.
A woman who is one unto herself. I am centered in the integrity of my natural holy trinity, mother, child, and holy goddess.
You
Whoa.
are so beautiful.
That's you all the way, too.
Oh my gosh, and it actually matches too. Mother, which I am, reverence is my child, and then the Holy Goddess, which you've been my example for the last decade.
That's awesome.
She's been my goddess teacher.
And then you did say something that you was carrying that masculine moon.
Yeah, she's got her masculine energy.
Right.
Yeah,
So she's
for
walking
sure.
in it for sure.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
you know.
What am
so,
I?
what's your birthday?
I'm 11/11.
11,
11.
You gotta scoot
Okay.
it here so they can see you.
Voila.
You are in November 11th. You're in the moon of form. Is this
Uh-oh.
right? November
11.
11th. Yeah, so you're in the masculine moon of form, which is the function is to identify the form of service.
Here we go. And you about to start your Bali
Retreat.
adventure.
Yeah, she's gonna start a retreat in Bali.
Okay.
A breatharian one.
And the action is to measure. So you have to get in. See, this is like, well, how can I best be of service? Now I got to plan it.
Right.
Now I got to measure it, put things in place, all that. And so the declaration is, I relax into the natural expression of my nature and trust the goddess to sculpt my life into its most
Creative form.
Trust the goddess that's
Whoa.
in you to your most creative form.
The thing was, for me, was like when you were talking about service. I've got this service thing going on at the moment. Like,
Well, that's what, see, the way this goes is you identify your purpose.
Right.
You look at the challenges that are there to fulfilling that purpose, you ask, how can I best be of service to do so? And then the form in which that service is expressed.
Wow. Straight
So that
manifesting.
would be, it doesn't mean you're not focusing on service. It means you're actually you're creating the church that does it, or whatever you're doing. You're not just dreaming it, you're doing it.
Wow.
Yes,
From
that
myth to
makes
reality.
Yeah, okay.
Bringing it from the
Okay,
ethers.
good. And
Thank you.
me, I'm born in the moon of radiance, and I had a temple called the Temple of Radiance long before I knew I was born in the moon of radiance.
Wow.
You know, so my thing is about gathering resources and commanding radiance, and that's what happens in my world. Is that I give people encouragement and permission to be their beautiful, free, expressive self, and it creates radiance. in them.
Absolutely.
And then I take pictures of it, which I've done.
Right,
here.
amazing.
So
Wow.
the declaration is, I listen to the voice of certainty that speaks from my feminine center, and I allow its wisdom to command my life.
Wow. This is something.
So I haven't even paid attention to this at this level in a while, so I'm glad to read it all.
Oh, wow.
So wait, let's read this here.
Where's
Feminine-
Reverence? Where's Reverence?
She's at school. I'm gonna pick her up.
No,
The-
in here.
Oh, 11:22.
11:22. So
11,
she
11,
is,
11, 22.
She's in the moon of radiance with me.
Aww.
Wow.
Okay, I wanted you to read this.
And this is the cosmos that's imprinted on us. This is why this is so
Yeah.
powerful.
So this is the Mary Magdalene Yantra, this symbol right here. And it is a feminine path to abundance and beauty. So this whole calendar, the Goddess Alorah lunar calendar, is a feminine path to abundance and beauty, featuring the Mary Magdalene Yantra, which is about restoring the union of wealth, sex, and spirit,
Wow.
and creating a world of time, pleasure, and play.
Wow.
A full holy
I
life.
love
Everything.
that. And this means a
together.
lot to me because I'm doing the mandala.
Right.
So I was like, oh my god, there's a mandala, more mandalas everywhere.
You know, it is a mandala, but I call it a yantra. Because a yantra, I looked up, which one is it, a yantra or a mandala? And a yantra is a symbol that when you look at it, it activates the consciousness through the symbol itself.
Wow.
I don't remember what they said about mandala, but I remember realizing, and it was, what happened was, I had this symbol, I was talking about it, and working with it, and people kept saying, what is it called? And I was trying to think of something, and then I remembered that, okay, so it's a big story. So, we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so, and I could go too long into this, and we don't all have the time for that, but let me just say that what this symbol is about is the organic, erotic flow of abundance.
Oh, man. Say
Okay.
that one more time. That sounds so awesome.
The organic,
Uh-huh.
erotic
Wow.
flow of abundance, right?
Mhm.
Because abundance, which abundance is bigger than wealth, but we think of it here a lot, right?
Right.
And so in nature, bees are the wealth of the garden, right?
Exactly.
They are the currency. Without them, there's no flow,
Right.
right? So the bees put their attention on the color and the scent of the flowers, which is the erotic power of the garden for the bees,
Right.
And that creates new life in the garden, which is the spirit of the garden, and that attracts more bees to the garden. And
Wow.
so here we go.
So that whole vortex of movement and energy,
right.
all working together.
So this is this symbol. So that's what I started with. I started with the line between wealth and spirit, because my experience is this is the conflict that has been the biggest problem for almost all of us in the New Age community.
Spirit and wealth.
Right. Like
Listen at that.
You know, I used to be a business forms broker. So
Right.
I had this organized and consistent and a company and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then 30 years ago I did ayahuasca.
Oh, it was over.
And the goddess woke up in me, and I couldn't do that anymore.
Right.
So I went down here and began to live from this, but it's you don't know how it's happening, so there's stress in that. There's more stress financially here for most people than I like to have, or that
Right.
people want, right? So when I
Listen
have
at
something that is stressing me, that's oppositional, I draw a line and I put the two options on either end of the line.
Right.
And then I make a triangle and I ask myself, what's up here
Mm-hmm.
that will stop this and turn it into this?
Right.
Okay?
Mhm.
And I saw that sex was it. Right.
Right.
Because this is the natural flow. You know, even if we look at the level of money flows to sex, right? That's
Oh,
why they
exactly.
use it to advertise.
They could grow
everything,
rich.
right?
They got a whole chapter dealing with it.
Right.
Mostly in our world, it doesn't flow to spirit. Sex is supposed to take you to spirit.
Right.
If it doesn't do that, you get stuck in this, which
Oh
is
my
an
gosh.
exchange.
That makes sense.
And nothing is satisfying here. People trade sex for money. People trade money for sex. It's
Mhm.
all usury. It's a manipulation. It isn't
Right.
taking us where we need to go. So when I saw this, I realized, oh yeah, this is the way that should be. And then I remembered that there was some symbol out there that had a triangle like this and a triangle like this, and that this one's supposed to represent the penis,
Merkaba.
and this is supposed to represent the pelvis. And so I drew it in and I asked Spirit, what are the names of these places? And they said time,
Mhm.
pleasure, and play.
Wow.
And I realized these are the feminine concerns of the psyche, and these are the masculine concerns of the psyche.
Wow.
Right? So in a holistic system, when we feel like our survival needs are met, like right now today,
Mm-hmm.
none of us are out scrambling for food today.
Right.
We have a place to sleep tonight, right?
Right.
So we have felt like we have time.
We
You
have
know,
time.
you dropped in. I said, okay, we
Yeah.
got time, right? Even though I got all kinds of stuff I'm doing, I'm not driven by it.
Mhm.
I'm like, Athena doesn't show up much. She doesn't bring, you know, if Athena wants to come and I can do it, I'll do it.
Right, right.
So when we feel like we have our survival needs met, the first thing we feel like we have is time.
Mhm.
What do we want to do with our time? Something that turns us on.
Right.
Not sex itself, maybe sex itself, but really just whatever brings us the feeling
Creativity,
of
because sex is
vital
creativity.
force.
Creativity,
Yeah,
vital
you know,
force.
creativity and vital force. And why do we want to do that? Because it brings us pleasure.
Oh man.
And what is pleasure? Pleasure is the felt experience of spirit.
Right.
That's why we say, oh God, when we come.
Oh God.
They say it in every language.
Right.
So, you know, the petit mort.
Petit mort.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
And what is the felt experience of spirit? The felt experience of spirit lets you know this is a divine play.
Mhm.
It isn't even real at the fundamental level. We have nothing at stake here, truly. And so we relax into the divine Leela. We begin to play with each other, just like right now.
Right.
And that makes us feel well and wealthy. Whatever's going on in our checkbook, we all feel wealthier today.
Right.
We do.
Out of
For
this, right?
Yes.
So
This is awesome.
You end up with an embodied experience of wealth and time and sex and pleasure and spirit and play. Now you can get deeper and put the flower of life into it,
Uh-oh.
which you know is a whole nother thing. So you know, if I go running through that, you
Wow.
can say that through let's say the divine,
Mhm.
playing with beauty out of its vital force. Through the
Right.
action of sexuality brings you into your individuality
Right.
and inspiration and gratitude for the pleasure of being alive. And the pleasure of being alive has you feel love.
Mhm.
And that love brings you into an experience of unity with the divine, with each other. And that is a sense of dedication to the divine that fills you with a great sense of fullness.
Right.
It's gratefulness, but it's a great fullness and fullness of spirit.
Yeah.
And then you experience the sovereignty of yourself and all beings, and it affirms the beauty of everyone, and then you just play in the multiplicity of ways in which humanity is expressing, which life is expressing.
Wow.
And that fills you with thanksgiving, and the thanksgiving makes you feel well and wealthy. Then you become generous and start participating in the organic, erotic flow of the
Right.
vibes, okay?
And it all intertwines with one another. And I like how you got creativity and health.
Yeah.
That's
right.
when you're healthy. This is a Breatharian message. We say it's a holistic health message.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
So here's where we are right
energy
now.
flow.
And I just learned something recently that was so brilliant. See, I could never figure out how did the patriarchy, effectively suppress the goddess religion, because the temples were doing this. In other words, the people used to make pilgrimages to their temples and bring pigs and goats and grain and gold to their temples, go through sacred sexual rituals, to the embodied experience of spirit, and in that feel well and wealthy, May Day and all kinds of Hieroskamas. There was an understanding and an education of this energy when women were running the whole thing.
Right.
Now, how in the world did you get people to let go of that value, right? Because somehow, for men to become the priests, they had to break this. The men can't offer sex at their temples.
Right.
It's not going to
I'm
fly.
not gonna show
right?
up.
It's not. Yeah. So in order to get control of the power of religion, they had to say sex is bad, and now we go sit in a church and listen to a concept of God. We're not feeling spirit. We're hearing about spirit.
Wow.
They're the mediator. You got to go through them. God is mean and all that stuff.
Wow.
And so you end up with a concept of God. You end up with a concept of wealth that you constantly chase.
Wow.
And a concept of sex that is like porn, right?
Wow.
And that, because the break has broken everything. Everything's in opposition. So sex and spirit are in opposition, and it creates the war between the genders.
War.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because women aren't educated in this, so they don't fulfill their mission of taking men to this. They don't know. They're told. Women are told you have to be a virgin and you have to be monogamous the rest of your life. And not only do you have to have unpaid sex with this man, you have to wash his dishes and clothes and everything.
Wow.
Indentured servitude for an unspecific result, right?
Wow. No wonder everybody mad.
So, I always ask, tell me anything else that you can have as much as you want, but if you charge for it, you go to jail.
Wow.
Right? Like a woman can have sex with 10 men a day if she wants to,
Right.
and she'll be judged, but she won't be jailed.
Right.
But ask $1 for that, and she's committing a crime. So why is that? That's because this female sexuality, sex itself, is the most valuable thing on the planet. If you let the feminine manage this energy and actually serve and educate and inspire and transform humanity with this energy, men will not get control of the money.
Right.
The women will keep the control of the money, right? So that's why it all went awry.
Wow.
You have an opposition between these because wealth doesn't, people who want to make money don't think that spirit has anything to do with it, and people who want to be spiritual kind of think this isn't.
And that's a big
something,
one.
Right?
That's the big one. It's
And then
huge.
this one goes into this relationship that is damaging everybody, right?
Right.
Because what we are told is, okay, you be virgins and servants, but we're going to take your bodies, we're going to create a world of symbols of sex, and we're going to stand you in front of them and say, if you buy this, you'll get that.
Wow.
But you will never get that, right? You're going
You're
to
in
have
the
it.
cycle.
You're addicted. It's like chasing sugar. You never quite get finished with the desire for sugar until you stop eating it, and then it passes. Like chocolate cake, right? I'll eat the chocolate cake till it's gone.
Yeah.
And I'll still want more for a while, right? That's not true with apples. I won't eat all the apples. I get satisfied with an apple, right?
Right.
Like, 'cause it's nutritious.
Yeah, exactly. So all these symbols, the clothes and cars and all the stuff, this is the war. This is the war between the sexes. This is the war between churches and governments and corporations.
Wow.
And this is the war with the planet, because we're using all the planet's resources to run an economy based on an addiction to producing and consuming
Oh,
things
my
we
gosh.
don't need to get to something we do need. Okay?
Right. Wow.
So that's not a very good place to be, is it?
No, not at all.
And recently, a man that's the most brilliant man I've ever met or talked to. His name is David. And he
Oh,
lives in
I thought you were going to say
Hawaii.
Elitom. What?
No, I'm telling you, this man is off the charts to listen to and talk to, and fabulous. He's 60. His body looks 30.
Awesome.
And he's amazing, and the best body worker in the world. Probably.
Okay.
Anyway, he told me that how this happened is that before we discovered metal,
Mm-hmm.
women's intuition was the highest value. That's why women were revered because sensing, intuiting, where to go, all the senses.
Sacagawea.
Women have it more than men, so the feminine was revered. When we discovered metal, strength became the dominant value.
Wow.
Isn't
The
that
iron.
interesting?
Wow.
The Iron
Isn't
Age.
that the age of
Wow.
Iron Age? Remember, they talk about the Iron Age. So
Right.
That's how it became. So with strength, you could start to control your environment. You could start to plow. You could start to cultivate. You could start to stay. You weren't wandering. You were staying, and you were defending, and you were claiming, and
All that other stuff.
okay. So there you go. So now the question is not just how do we. What I don't want to just explain this. I actually want to activate it so that we can get out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been attempting to do that for a long time.
Oh, man.
And doing it in my own life, but not for the collective yet. But I'm closer than I've ever been before.
That's awesome.
We'll talk about it another time.
All
All right.
right.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank
Whoa.
you.
Thank you so much,
beautiful,
Doctor.
Donna.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Wa la 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 la. We're awesome once again.
All right.
Beautiful people.
Thank you.
This is the
Thank
Rainbow
you.
Children.
Wow. It's
We're-
amazing.
I'm gonna have to
That is the Goddess
Alive. This is the Goddess Alive, Alorah.
Alorah, all the way. We'll give you her information, tell you more about it, and like you
Is this
said,
online,
the true
Laura?
calendar has
It's
meaning
Online.
to our lives, and it affects our lives. So the more educated you get on yourself and your relationship to the cosmos, the rotation, you can take advantage of this to bring it from myth to reality to better your life. And like they said, wealth goes together, the sexual energy goes together, the time, the pleasure, the spirit, all of the play, all of that's supposed to go together. Oh, this is good, ain't it?
So amazing.
We're grown.
Alorah, is there anybody upstairs, or can we show them the balcony?
Oh yeah, we gotta go
You can
meditate
get out
now.
there. It's not exactly gorgeous because
Love
it's
y'all
rain,
once
but
again.
let's see.
We're gonna be rolling all day.
Laura, can I pass this on to
Love
my
you.
friend?
Love you.
See y'all tonight.
Stay attuned.
Stay-
You a breath attuner?
Yeah, I'm a breath tuner now.
That's right.
That's deep, ain't
That's
it?
really deep.
The cosmos told me that. I
There
can't
you
help the
go.
way I was
and I'm
born.
in integrity.
You was just talking that
Oh my
last
God,
night.
that's so profound.
Shoot, I know. When she
Awesome.
went to integrity,
See y'all tonight. Love you.
I want to talk about
As we push the
integrity.
message around the world.
How do we get